Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vidansha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa tarubhascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. How's everyone?
Good, prabhuji.
All good? Karthik is over. I hope you're getting some time to read Bhagavad Gita now. Karthik was quite busy. So we are in third chapter. Okay, so last week we did I think 6 or 7 verses. So let's do a quick revision and then we'll get inside the chapter. So this is the MIHG guide, which tells us the overview of the third chapter. So third chapter name, anyone knows? Any other name besides this? Chapter 3, which is called as Karma Yoga. Last week we discussed about it. Anyone? Amrit Prabhu?
No, I don't remember, Prabhu.
You don't remember? Okay. Anyone else remembers? Shashank Prabhuji, I think he was here last week.
I don't remember it, Prabhu, sorry.
Okay. Sarva Jiveshwari Mataji?
I think this is Sankhya Yoga, Prabhu.
Sankhya Yoga, okay. This is Sankhya Yoga. Anyone else would like to say? Anand Krishna Prabhu?
Sorry, Prabhu, I can only remember as Karma Yoga.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so answer is Karma Yoga. I was just trying to confuse you all. This chapter I clearly said, and that's what I have read, is Karma Yoga, in Sanskrit, in English, Prabhupada translation, in other books as well. Sarvjiveshwari Mataji, Sankhya Yoga is the second chapter. So not obviously in Prabhupada books, but somewhere else. The Prabhupada books, right, contents of Gita summarized, which is taken from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Karma Yoga is a very standard name, Sanskrit, English, Prabhupada books, and other books as well, because this is about Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? If I have to ask you in one line, last week we discussed about it. Just one simple definition. Anyone?
Action in Krishna consciousness, Prabhuji.
Actions in Krishna consciousness. Okay, that's a very Bhagavad Gita as it is type answer, which is correct. Can you give me more generic answer which applies on everyone?
Offering performing your duty without attachment to it.
Performing your duty without attachment. Okay. I want more simple answer. Yes, Prabhuji, you remember? Very, very simple answer. So let's start from simple and then we come to sophisticated answers. Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? If someone asks you just on the road.
Whatever we do day-to-day activities, all karma.
Whatever day-to-day activities. Okay. And
try,
Prabhupada, I'll just come back, Mata. So yes, Prabhu, just to respond to that, someone can say a dog is also working very, very hard. Donkey is also working very, very hard. He's doing Karma Yoga. Sorry, I'm just contracting.
No.
Yeah, so that cannot be the proper answer. So there has to be something else. Lakshmi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Last time, if I remember, Prabhu, we just
Yes.
talked about what karma yoga is. It refers to the devotional service,
Devotion
by
service.
offering
Okay.
services to Krishna. That's what we.
Very good. They are all right answer. Upinder Prabhu said the right answer. Yes, Prabhu is also a right answer, but I'm just sort of trying to open the mind. That's all. Keshav Prabhu, you're also right. Anju Mata, Karma Yoga, simple. So you're reading Karma Yoga. This whole section in Bhagavad Gita is known as Karma Yoga. I just want to know a simple definition.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
I think it's like doing all our duties,
Okay.
but like connecting it to Krishna, or like, yeah, without just focusing on only results,
Okay.
but still doing your duties.
Not focusing on the result, just doing our duty. Correct answer. Rajesh Prabhu, last one, and then I'll carry on. Karma Yoga, simple
Karma
definition.
activity, doing all the activities and dovetailing it to the Lord, and like
Okay.
you're connecting
Yes.
it.
You're correcting. Okay, that's right. Prabhu and Mataji are all correct actually. When I say simple definition, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. Yoga refers to, as Rajesh Prabhu was saying, is connection. So that's the first thing. So if I ask a simple definition, it is a connection with the Lord. So that's definitely there. And when the connection with the Lord predominantly is taken over by karma, that's called Karma Yoga. If the predominance is of bhakti or love, there's Bhakti Yoga. If predominance is Gyan, there's Jnana Yoga. If predominance is Ashtanga, there's Ashtanga Yoga. Now, that's where we can start from. Very, very simple definition. Then you can give Upendra Prabhu, as you said, Prabhupada definition, which is correct. Anju Mataji also gave, Anand Prabhu also. All are correct answer. But the first thing, yoga, and then what's the predominance in that connection is karma, activities. Last week we also discussed about this yoga letter, if you remember. So this animalistic life, this is animalistic life, not animal life. And then we have karma kanda. What does karma kanda mean? Without looking at it, if someone else can say, Ira Mataji, karma kanda.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mata.
It is actually like recommended rituals in the scriptures, which does not take us to Krishna, like worshipping of the demigods.
Thank you, Mata. So it's scriptural rules and regulation which you are following, connecting demigods, getting some higher. That's fine. And if you are not connecting with the animal, that's called not connecting with anyone. That's called animalistic life. No? So at least Karmkandi people are better than people who do not follow any authority. No? So they want something from Indra. That's fine. Sakam Karma Yoga, Shobhit Prabhu. So we talked about Karma Yoga. Now we're just expanding the definition to Sakam Karma Yoga, because we need to understand these terms before we get inside the chapter.
So it's yoga, which in a way, like, because yoga is something which we're trying to connect with the divine.
Yep.
And sakam karma would mean like where sakam. So where we are actually when we are actually performing any duty and we are trying to attach the results of that duty to yoga, or to divine somewhere.
Okay.
And
Someone
where
else want
we
to
are
help?
attached to that.
Yeah. So it says sakam. So if you read the word Prabhu, and the definition is also given here, sakam. So you have a kamna, you have a desire. What is that desire? To enjoy the fruits. So although you
Specific
are connecting
wishes,
with
yeah. If someone just doing those pious activities with some wishes on his mind or whatever to fulfill
that can become karma kanda, Prabhuji.
Yes, I'm talking about karma kanda, Prabhu. Sorry, we're talking about.
Yeah. So sakama karma yoga. So when you connect to the divine, but we are attached to the fruits, work plus the fruits. Nishikam, you're attached to the work, but not with the fruits. But you're still doing for the purification. That's what we are reading in this chapter now. And from Nishkam Karma, going to Jnana. You're neither attached to the fruits nor to the work. That's called Jnana Yoga. Now, Jnana take the predominance. From Jnana, we go to Ashtanga, it's also known as Paramatmavadis. Jnana Yogi is also known as Brahmavadis. So Brahma, Satya, Jagat, Mithya. That's a very famous phrase of Puranas. So Brahma, Satya, Jagat. So they consider Brahman as the supreme. Now we don't deny it, but what we say, Brahman is not the supreme. Brahman is supreme, but in Brahman also there are three categories. What are the three categories in Brahman? Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan iti Shabdet. So Brahman is the first level of realization, and they're all called Brahman, but within Brahman also there are three levels. So Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, that's where we see Paramatmavadis. They see Vishnu. We'll talk about this in chapter 6. They see Vishnu in their heart. They're not just saying Brahman, 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 light, light, light. That's their Jnana Yoga. And they want to realize that they are God themselves. Now Brahmavadis and Mayavadis, what's the difference? Anyone remembers? So Brahmavadis, Vad means philosophy, thoughts, a school of thought. When the school of thought is Brahma, is the supreme, that's called Brahmavadis. Now they are not against Krishna's form. They're not against Krishna's form. But when some group of people within Brahmavadis umbrella, you can say, become people who are against the form of Krishna, they are called Mayavadi, because for them Maya is Sarvashrestha, Maya is the supreme, not Brahman. Examples are given of Shukdev Goswami and four Kumaras. Four Kumaras, they are also initially Brahmavadis, but then they smelled, when they're passing through the Vaikuntha Loka, they smelled the Tulsi leaf. And they say, I want to have darshan of the Lord. And they went inside and they became the devotees. And now we know they are the Mahajans. So Brahmavadis can be converted into devotees very, very easily. Second example is Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami, when he appeared, he was 16. He was a Brahmavadi, but he was not against form of Krishna. Mayavadis are openly against the form of Krishna. They say, why are you worshipping Radha Gopinath? Because we want to become Radha Gopinath. Radha Gopinath is Vigraha is a tool for me to focus, and once I've crossed that stage, I will become them. They are called Mayavadis. They are against the form. Brahmavadis are not against the form of Krishna. That's why converting Brahmavadis to Bhaktas is easy. For Kumaras or Shukdev Goswami. But converting Mayavadis, and that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not say Brahmavadi Bhashya Sunbe Hoile Sarvanash. Mayavadi Bhashya Sunbe. Mayavadi means I am that Lord, and I want to become that Lord, and I am against the physical form, the Vigraha or Murti of Krishna or Ram and other Vigrahas like that. So they are very, very dangerous Mayavadis. Brahmavadis are mostly ignorant. That's all. And their philosophy is, yes, I want to realize Brahman. But when someone is exposing them to the bhakti knowledge, they can become devotees. And this is what happens. We'll read in 6th chapter. These Ashtanga yogis, many of them, if they are fortunate enough, they will become bhakti yogi. They just don't want to see Krishna, meditate on Krishna. They want to serve Krishna. And that's why this is considered the highest, because there's a relationship. And in love means, as per Shastra, love means seva, service. A mother loving the child means mother serving the child. Mother cannot just say the word, I love you, but don't serve the child. The service aspect has to be there. Then they become devotees. So this is just a high level, and in different chapters, obviously, we'll go through this terminology in little more detail, but yeah, good to understand this. Amrit Prabhuji had a question.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. The Brahmavadis and the Mayavadis, do the Brahmavadis also want to become God like the Mayavadis?
Yes. In the beginning, yes.
So, but
So
when we
they want to realize that Brahman, that I am the Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. Same theory. But they're not against the form of
But
Krishna.
what about those categories of people who say that who accept Krishna, Vishnu, and they say that Brahman is above them and they have come from that light?
Yeah, so they can be Mayavadis, they can be Brahmavadis. In the current modern world, no one has a clear conception of God. So it's called Khichdi-vadis. Yes, I'm being honest. They don't know actually. I was speaking to one gentleman in a program, Damodar program, after the program, and he was saying, "Ant mein to sab light hai, jyot hai." And he was talking about Krishna and all that. And he literally told me
Yeah.
with full conviction, "Ant mein to sab light hai." So many times, again, it's not his fault. He's not been exposed to that real knowledge. It's just, This uncle said that, grandmother said that, and that sort of knowledge is there. So many times they are very ignorant people, they are very nice people, and if you expose them to the proper knowledge, they come to the real, I cannot be God. God has to be different. So in quality, I can be similar to God, that's fine, but in quantity, I cannot be similar. So quantity of God, he is Vibhu and we are Anu. We are very, very insignificant, and he is Purna Purushottam Bhagwan. But qualitatively, Sachidanand, we both are same. That is fine. So we agree, and that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Achinta Bheda Bhed. So there is a bhed, there is a differences, and there is similarity. Both are there. We cannot go to either extreme. So Jiva qualitatively is same as God, but quantitatively not same as God. And Prabhupada gave a simple example of the drop of ocean water, just a drop, and against the whole ocean. So Krishna is like that ocean. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Keshav Prabhuji?
A quick question, Prabhu. Normally, people do some prayashit karma as well, right? So
Yeah.
normally, which category? I mean, they definitely knowing unknowing whatever the offense they have
Yeah.
done, they wanted to get to work on that one. Which
Yeah.
category they will follow?
Okay, so just from seeing someone doing prayashit karma, we cannot say. Generally, they can say it in the karma kanda, but they can. Devotees also do prayashita. For example, Krishna, please forgive me. I've done so many abominable activities. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing like that. So we can't just say that. But generally, if you're talking about from that level karma kanda, if I do this, then my this path will go away and all those things. This is karma kanda level. In 6th canto, 1st chapter, Shukdev Goswami is talking about this prayashit karma to Parikshit Maharaj, and he's talking different ways how to do prayashit karma. So first he starts from karma kanda, then jnana, and then he says Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudev parayana. Once you surrender to Vasudev, there's no better prayashit than that. You surrender yourself to Vasudev. Clearly he's saying Kechit kevalaya bhaktya, keval bhakti to Vasudev. And that's the third category he explains. There can be different hierarchies there as well. Okay. So yeah, some simple terminologies. It's good to understand that.
Sorry, Prabhu, just a quick one.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So the difference between Brahmavadi and Mayavadi is Brahmavadi, they focus on the impersonal Brahman, whereas
Yes.
Mayavadi, they reject everything and they
They
say that,
also focus on that, but their
yeah.
eventual thing is, I will become that, and the form of Krishna is representation of Maya, which is where we have a big, huge difference. We consider Radha Gopinath as completely Sachidanand. Even Vigraha we consider as Radha Gopinath in person, for example, right? But they say this form of Krishna is also the product of Maya, and that's where we have huge difference with them.
So, Prabhu, what do Brahmavadis think? Like, for
Aham
example,
Brahmasmi, I want to realize that Brahman. I am Brahman and I
Okay.
want to realize that, which is fine. We're all Brahman, isn't it? But we are not Parabrahma. Krishna is that Parabrahma. We are soul, no problem with that. We are not super soul. That's where the problem starts.
But what about what does a Brahmavadi think when they say Radha Gopinath? Do they say this is
This is Brahman, form of
Brahman?
Brahman. Form of
But
Brahman.
it doesn't have a form. Like for them, that Radha
No,
Gopinath.
form is okay. They are not
Okay.
either against or in favor. I
Okay.
want to realize now. Yes, Ayush Prabhu want to realize through the form of Radha Gopinath, and that's fine. That's Ayush Prabhu's choice. Ayush Prabhu also want to become same Brahman as Radha Gopinath, but he's going through this. A Mayavadi will say, Ayush Prabhu, what are you doing? This is Maya. This Maya. And Prabhupada's one of the disciple went in debate with one of these Mayavadis, and he was saying everything is Maya, everything is Maya, everything is Maya. So the disciple said, he raised his hand, he said, Guru Maharaj, I have something to say. He was very young, foreign body disciple, and he said, if you are saying everything is Maya, then what you are saying is also Maya. Why should I believe in you? Isn't it? Because you are saying everything is Maya, your words are also Maya. Why should I hear to you? Arjun is not saying that. Arjun is saying, Shishyasteham Shadimam Tam Prapannam. You are Guru, I am disciple. I want to listen from you. So we have a very clear hierarchy there. Is that okay?
Thank you very much.
We'll explore more once we arrive in 9th chapter for those terminologies. Okay. Let's quickly look at this one as well. Again, these two, I'll post it. I think last week I said I didn't do, but this I'll do it. I just forgot. So good to know these terminologies while we are reading these chapters so we can understand where Krishna is saying which word, what does it mean. So this is a generic ladder, you can say. This is the express elevator of Bhakti Yoga. So either you can go this line, which we have just read, Animal Life, Karma Kanda, Sakam Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga, in Prema Bhakti and Bhava Bhakti and all those things, right? Now we can go this way, which is a progressive yoga ladder, or we can go a express elevator from animalistic life, which most of us come from. Surrender and association of pure devotees. Vasudeva Sarvati Samahatma Sudurlava 720. We perform sadhana bhakti, which we are all doing at the moment. We are performing some sadhana. We don't have any prema. Maybe some of you have, but most of us, we don't have anything at this stage. But we're trying to do sadhana from these materialistic senses. We are trying to spiritualize them by doing some spiritual activity, some seva for Krishna. And the goal is through that we'll have some bhava bhakti one day, and through that we'll get prema bhakti. Prema bhakti is nothing but 100% prema to Krishna. That's what it is, 100%. So at this stage, we may have 5%, 10%. This stage, we may have 90%. Here, we will have 100% prema for Krishna. So this is the path which we are currently, or Prabhupada is currently recommending through these chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Let's come back to the third chapter. Now, third chapter starts from Arjuna's question. So in second chapter, 72 verses, Krishna spoke a lot of philosophy. Now, in the beginning of third chapter, Arjuna stops Krishna and says, my buddhi is a little bit confused. So please tell me question 1. Who can say question 1 in simple words? Anyone? Quickly.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. In your simple words, Mataji, what is the question of Arjuna?
Arjuna is asking which one is better, fight or buddhi? So he's asking
Fight. Yes, before you go ahead, what is the word of fight in this 3.1, please? Find out that word. You're saying right, but please find out.
Karmanaste.
Karmani.
So Jayasi tat chet karmanaste. Thank you, Mataji. Karmanaste. So karmana, which Arjun is thinking, karmana means fight. Where was the last reference of fight in Bhagavad Gita before 3.1? Anyone? Acharya Nisa Prabhu? Or anyone?
2.38.
2.38. Thank you. Can you see the words, Mata? I'll open it for everyone. 2.38. So everyone, this is the last reference of Yuddha. Oh, do a slash. Sukhutuke samekruta labha alabha jaya jav tato yuddhaya yujjasva nevam papa was. You will not get any papa. For Sukhutuke, so be equipoised in Sukha and Dukha, Labh or Labh, Jaya, or just 6 things Krishna is saying. Tato yuddhaya, and just go for fight. After 238, how many verses Krishna has spoken so far before 3.1? Anyone?
2.39 to 2.72.
How many verses, Mata? Sorry.
Oh, I don't know how many.
You don't know, okay. 43 verses, Krishna. Huh?
33.
33, okay. Thank you, Amrit Prabhuji. 33. You're a better mathematician. 33 verses. Krishna referenced nothing about fighting. He is referencing rather about Shanti, Buddhi. So Arjun is a bit confused in 3 points and saying, you are referencing more about Buddhi and Shanti. So Karmana, he refers to fight, as Iramata was saying. Mata Buddhir Janandana. You want me to follow the path of Buddhi or Karma. Buddhi refers to Shanti, Buddhi Yoga. That's what Arjun's understanding is. And Karma refers to fighting, action. Tat kim karmani ghore mamse. Why are you engaging me? If you think Buddhi is higher, then why are you engaging me in this ghastly war? Karmani ghore, ghor karma. Because war is a ghor karma. So Arjun's understanding, which is not complete, but Arjun's understanding is if I follow Buddhi Yoga, I should not fight. If I follow Karma, I should fight. But Karma is a ghor karma. So Arjun is requesting to Krishna, Vyamishene me vakya ne buddhi moha yasime. By buddhi is moha, bewildered. By your mishra vakya. Mishra means mixed. Vyamishene, completely mixed. बहुत ज़्यादा bewilder हो गया हूँ मैं. I'm so much bewildered by your this mixed vakya. So what you should do? Tad ekam vad nishchad. Ekam, bhai ek baat boliye. Tell me one thing. Huh? Ekam vad nishchad. You nishchad, you ascertain one truth and tell me that. Now Krishna starts telling Arjuna. Okay, I'll not read that. Just read some important verses. This is nice. 3.4 is very nice. Who can do 3.4? Just two-liner. Beautiful, because many times we also have this misconception. Yeah, I should start naming. Sushant
Can I try, Prabhu?
Oh, okay, Lakshmi Mataji, then you can try. Sushant Prabhu saved. He's happy.
Yeah.
Next
Oh,
one.
he can go.
No, Mata, you
can
go.
do it.
You go.
Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection.
Yeah.
So,
So Krishna is
what
clarifying Arjun's thoughts here. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So Arjun has two choices, whether to fight or not to fight.
So if you read the Sanskrit verses, the answer is right there actually. Na karmanam anarambhan. So arambha refers to start, beginning. Huh? So you start, arambha karna. Huh? In Hindi, that's arambha. Anarambha, do not start. Huh? So he's saying, na karmanam anarambhan. If you do not start an activity, do not start, but that means inactivity. Huh? Just keep it this inactivity simple here. Nashya karmam purushosnute. So na ashnute, you will not achieve. What you will not achieve? Nashya karmam. Nashya karmam refers to Acharya Nisa Prabhu. Nashya karmam. You should know this terminology in Bhagavad Gita.
No reaction.
No reaction. Thank you, Prabhuji. Huh? So Nashya karma does not refers to inactivity. Nashya karma refers to activity which produce no reaction. So Arjun's understanding is no activity means no reaction. But Krishna is saying no activity, anarambhan. Anarambhan refers to no activity, right? No arambha. आज बस सोएंगे, कुछ काम नहीं करेंगे. Today I will just sleep. No work I will do. Huh? I'm thinking anarambhan. No work today. Sunday hai, public holiday, whatever. Huh? But Krishna is saying you will not achieve nashya karma. You will still get a reaction because you will be doing something, thinking about it. Some things. Prabhupada said, if you said idle, you will think about two things. Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, what are the two things Prabhupada said? If you think idle, you will start thinking. WW. Prabhupada said that. Women and wealth. Prabhupada said, if you said idle, two things you will think. Women and wealth. Everyone. Prabhupada said that. Huh? So, Nashya Karmam will not be achieved just by Anarambhan, no activity. Huh? That's not the definition. Okay, what's the next line? Krishna is saying, Nacha sanyasanad eva siddhim sam. Just by taking sannyas. Sannyas here refers to the external dress of sannyas. We're not talking actual sannyasi. The actual Nacha sanyasanad eva siddhim samadhi gacchati. What's the Mayavadi definition of what is the Mayavadi achievement after taking sannyas? What's the one line? Anyone remembers in Hindi, English, actual Sanskrit? Sanjay Vyas Prabhu.
Valgu Vairagya.
Valgu Vairagya, okay. Danda grahana matrena naro narayanam bhavet. Danda means sannyas danda. Grahana matrena, once you receive the danda, in Mayavada Sampradaya, that's what they say, naro narayanam bhavet. Nar becomes Narayan.
Nar becomes Narayan. Yeah.
Is it possible from our philosophical point? Anyone? You will become Narayan. That's never possible. Nar can never become. Nar is always the servant of Narayan. He is always remain in the Jiver Sarupa Krishna Nitya. That's quite clear. But Mayavadi said just by taking sannyas danda, naro narayanam bhave. They become Narayan. So what they are saying basically, just by accepting the external garb of something, you will achieve the samadhi. Is it possible? Just by, I dress up myself like a sadhu. Ravan also dressed up like a sadhu. Huh? Did he become a sadhu? Huh? He was a complete rascal. Huh? He had such a bad desires for Mother Sita. So just by accepting external sannyas or any external garb for that matter, our internals don't change, is it? Changing external dress is very, very easy. Huh? Looking like a devotee. Sushant, is it difficult to look like a devotee?
No, Prabhu.
Is it difficult? How long does it take to become so-called devotee, Prabhu? 5 minutes?
1 second, Prabhu.
1 second, huh? Put a tilak, 10 rupee kanthi mala, 2 cents of kanthi mala, some dhoti kurta, huh? 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 second, whatever. We can, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, how are you? I'm so humble. And I'm thinking all about rascaldom in my mind. So changing external is very easy. Changing internal is very, very difficult. Someone was saying, preaching should mean from changing from in to out. What we are doing from out to in. Sometimes it's only out, no in at all. Out means just changing the dress, giving classes as well. No internal change, no internal transformation. Someone was saying information, no transformation. That's not needed. So change should happen in to out, not out to in. When we all go to temple with nice devotional garbs, very, very nice, and we should go in the devotional garb. But the purpose is not just external, purpose is internal. When internals change, then we share something. I really understand in my life that material sense gratification is not worth it. That's a better statement, or just by reading a statement. Which one is better? So experience, realize, and then share. It says when we share our own realization, that have more impact rather than just be reading out. Reading out is also very nice, but when we are saying from your heart, yes, I have experienced material life cannot make you happy. So change should happen in to out. Externals are very, very easy. Internals is the target, and many times, um, many people struggle with that. They think external is the, I've taken initiation, Prabhu. I've got 2 initiations. I've got 5 initiations. I've got 3 kanti malas. They have big, big kanti malas, and that's nice. They may be good as well. We don't judge anyone just because they are wearing or not wearing anything. A devotee can wear jeans, that's fine, depending on the occasion. But the point here is internal should be the target, not just the external. External is just the way we follow external, and that helps us to change our internal. Bhakti Rasamand Maharaj was saying, if we are wearing dhoti kurta, tilak and all that, we'll not go in a cinema hall, although we may feel like going inside, because the external is there, which will stop. Hare Krishna devotee going to cinema, when you're wearing jeans and all that. Very easy, very easy. So external do help, but externals are not the final goal. So Krishna is saying, Nacha sanyasanad eva siddhim. Just by taking the dress of sannyas, siddhim na samadhi gacchati. You'll not achieve siddhi. You'll not, the internals will not change. So you're sannyas, and you can take any dress for that sake, any number of initiations for that sake. My Guru Maharaj says, my kurta color is the brightest in the room, orange. My orange is the brightest in the room. That will not take me back to Godhead. Keshav Maharaj says, when you leave your body, you cannot take your danda with you. You're a sannyasi, that's what he's saying. You're a sannyasi. You cannot take your danda with you. You cannot take your beads with you. Given by your spiritual master, very worshipable thing. You love it. Can you take it back to Godhead? Or wherever you are going now? You cannot take beads. You cannot take your knowledge. But what you can take is your genuine realization, genuine taste for serving Krishna, serving devotees. That you can take. So that should be our focus, not just external. And we should be very fully convinced, I need to change my internal. I need to change as a person. I need to change as a person. That's my target of reading Bhagavad Gita, doing all these Bhakti Shastri exams, and whatever else you are doing. The purpose is to change our heart. Our lust should change to love. Our envy should change to praise. When we are envying someone initially, we should start glorifying those Vaishnavas, those devotees. That's the target. So it's a very powerful verse 3.4. Don't just change the external but internal. Yes, Sanjay Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, just a question. When we do service, sometimes there can be interference from other devotees. Other devotees can cause obstacles or give feedback, and suppose, and that's fine. But suppose if I'm not comfortable taking that feedback, or I'm not having thought through different things, I'm not comfortable with their suggestions, then what should I do? Should
Okay.
I back away, or should I,
Thanks.
yeah,
Yeah.
or should I tolerate and continue and do service even if I'm not inclined to do it? Yeah.
Okay. So in general, you already gave the answer. In general, you tolerate. But a specific answer is, Prabhu, depending on the situation. Suppose someone is giving me a feedback. First, I need to look at the feedback with full honest mind. Maybe there is a truth in there. Maybe, right? And he is telling me for my benefit. Now, if I don't listen with that honesty, I will miss out on my improvement part, isn't it? So someone is saying something, I should first honestly judge. or think about it, contemplate on it, that if there is any truth in that, I should accept it because he is telling me for my improvement. If I don't listen, I will lose that opportunity. So first thing is, yes, listen, contemplate, and then act on it. If there's a 10% truth in the 100%, you take the 10% feedback, because this is very nice, isn't it? Only a good friend will give you feedback that, Prabhuji, please do like that, not like that, otherwise Krishna may not like it. That's one part. Second part is, Prabhu, if you don't understand, some people are discouraging you, generally as they say, we don't have to have close association with them. We can have Hare Krishna, Hari Bol relationship, respectful relationship, but from a distance, we don't aspire any bad for any living entity, what to speak of devotees. But at the same time, they don't encourage us. We can have good friends who encourage us in Krishna consciousness, because we all have faults. With all our faults, we are trying to do whatever little seva is possible. So that attitude is possible, Prabhuji, because many times devotees will tell something which may not be true. So you don't have to take it seriously, Prabhu. If there's no truth as per your understanding, and also you can consult with someone if you have any good friends, good mentors, good guides available. This devotee said this, I don't understand it. Can you please expand on it? Sometimes he may give you a different perspective of the same statements. Kesha Maharaj always says, if you are inside the frame, it's hard to see you. A third person who's outside the picture can see you better. Huh? So many times our mind can also become biased. So we can consult some senior Vaishnava. Do you see any truth in this? Can I improve something on that? And he can say, oh, actually, just leave it. Don't worry about it. Or he can say, okay, actually, one truth is there. Please follow. Oh, thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me that perspective. I never thought about that. So I think work with devotees who encourage us, who take us forward. That's nice. It says if someone hurts you, you may become wounded or you may become wise. So better become wise, don't become wounded. Because if we become wounded, then we can't serve whatever service we are trying to do. So keep serving, no matter what happens in life, just keep serving, keep serving. And Prabhupada said, don't jump out of the ship, be on the ship. Even if devotees have all sorts of faults, but they is still to associate with them rather than associating with perfect, so-called perfect people outside. So keep your association up first thing, and within the association, we can closely associate with more who inspire us to go forward rather than who discourages us. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
3.5, one key lesson from 3.5. Who can say? Okay, I'll start choosing. Okay, who hasn't said anything? Priya Mataji, would you like to say one liner on 3.5? What is Krishna saying in 3.5?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So 3.5. Shall I go through the translation one?
Okay, you can tell me just one line if you remember from last week's discussion. What is the one main key line Krishna is saying in 3.5? If you have any notes, you can refer, or if you remember in your mind.
Till 3.3. I can't remember, Prabhuji.
Okay, no problem. I'll move to Ayush Prabhuji.
So, in this verse, Krishna says that Nahi kaschit shanam api, that not even for a moment, shanam is moment, not even for a moment. Jatu tishtati akarma krit, one cannot stay without any action. Nobody can do akarma krit. Karyate hi avashya karma, that obviously he is
Avashaha. This is avashaha. Yeah.
avashya karma, कि अवश्य उसको कर्म करना पड़ेगा. He has to do karma. Sarva prakriti jayar guna. So based on their guna, based on the mode of material nature they're operating in, some can be in ignorance, passion, goodness. Based on that, they have to perform. So basically, it's saying that based on a person's activity on the different mode of material nature that he's performing on, he has to perform some activity. Avashya karma. He cannot, na hi kaschit shanamapi. He cannot stay inactive, or he cannot not perform any action for even a second. Shanamapi.
Yeah. So you'll be helplessly, as Prabhupada, right? Helplessly work. So no matter what happens, you cannot just sit and say, I'm not doing any karma. Thank you, Prabhuji. Let's move forward. 3.6. Did we did this verse last week?
Yes,
Yes, we
Prabhu.
did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go this one. Hari Gopal Prabhu, would you like to say something?
Yes, Prabhu. So on the shloka?
Yeah, just read the translation, Prabhuji, and some key points.
Yes, Prabhu. One who restrains the sense of action, but whose mind dwells in sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. So karmendriyani sayamya ya aste manasasmaran. So karmendriyani sayamya. So your five senses, karmendriya is your five senses, and sayamya rakna. So which is like putting under control.
Yep.
Ye aste manasasmaran. So but whose mind is all ये आस्ते मनसा स्मरण मन से स्मरण किस चीज के हो रहा है ये आस्ते so anyone who remains controlled in his mind. So indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyachara sa uchyate. Mithyachar is a person who is pretending. So indriyarthan vimudhatma. So जिसकी basically what Krishna is trying to say is तुम्हारे मन you're trying to control your mind, but you're always deluded with the sense objects, then you're certainly not being in focus, and hence you're a pretender.
Actually, little bit other way, Prabhu. So, karmendriyani, so you have sanyamya, regulated, controlled your karmendriya. Karmendriya means external five karmendriya. You have controlled them, but manasa, in your mind, you're still thinking about what? Indriyarthan, sense objects. So basically, you can close your eyes, just an example, right? Close your eyes, externally speaking, but you are still seeing a picture. Is it possible? Sometimes we close our eyes, but we are still seeing the whole world around us. You can stop at one place and sit. Rajesh Prabhu chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So he's in the Vaikuntha world, but when I'm chanting, my mind is everywhere in the world. So Karmendriyani samya. So you control your external senses, which is fine, but from your mind you're thinking about Vishaya Chintan. Like many so-called sadhus, they take this sadhuta as their livelihood. In the mind, they're thinking about how much money this Yajman will give me. 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees, like that. So they are called, as per Krishna, Vimudatma. They are rascals. They are rascals. And Mithyachara, so they are Mithyachari. Now, what is the difference between a person who is struggling in Krishna consciousness, for example, and a person who is known as Mithyachari? Someone else can say, Rajesh Prabhu, Amrit Prabhu, I'll come back to you. Your turn will come later. So my question is clear. What is the difference between a person who's a struggling sadhaka, he's making mistakes, he's thinking, other thoughts are coming, and a person mentioned in this particular verse 3.6? Are we both same? A struggling sadhaka is also a mithyachari, Rajesh Prabhu?
No problem.
No, really? Why?
Because he's not pretending. He's accepting that he has shortcomings, and
thank you.
He's
Very
not.
nice. So he accepts. Sadhaka will not say, I'm a siddha. If he says that, then he's a mithyachari. If anyone, most of us say, no, I'm a siddha. I've understood everything. समझ लो वो पूरा मिथ्याचारी है पक्का. So the proper wordings which I've heard, I'm just sharing that. So one is a wicked mind, one is weak mind. Sadhakas are generally weak-minded. Weak-minded, we also make mistakes, many, many mistakes we make. But when we contemplate on the mistakes, we repent. Hey Bhagwan, why I'm like that? Why did I say like that? Why I did like that? So they're contemplating and feeling very sad. Krishna, please help me. I'm very, very weak. This is called a weak, struggling sadhaka, making mistakes, no problem, right? And this mithyachari is who knows he is not Bhagwan, he's declaring himself as Bhagwan everywhere. I think we discussed about Falgu Baba last week. When Abhay Falgu Bhagwan. So he knows, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, you know you're a jiva, you're just an insignificant jiva. I like it when people bow down to me. That is called mithyachari. So you accept a garb of a sannyasi, you accept all the honor, accept all the money, but internally you're thinking about sense objects, for example. That's very, very bad. And that's why in Kali Yuga, because so many sadhus, so-called sadhus, have cheated public have lost the respect for sadhus many times. It doesn't mean all the sadhus are cheated. There are many, many nice sadhus around, but many sadhus, because they have cheated this garb, this dress, or this ashrama, That's why people have lost faith in sadhus. Prabhupada also, he was a bit hesitant to meet Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj initially. When his friend came and said, Chalo, I'll take you to meet a very nice sadhu. Prabhupada said, no, no, many sadhus I have seen. I don't want to go and see another sadhu. Huh? So some faith is lost because they are mithyachari. So we should be very, very careful from these mityacharis. Now, where do we find mityacharis, Anand Prabhu? Is there a market? Chinatown, we go and find mithyachari?
Everywhere, bro.
Everywhere the mityacharis are there. I can also be mithyachari. I'm being honest, huh? I can be mithyachari. You can be mithyachari. All of us can be mithyachari. So make sure we are not mithyachari. Just accept it. I'm very, very weak. I'm very, very low. I have lots of anarthas because that humility can actually act as a big strength for you. Huh? But if you become I have become a devotee. I'm a pakka Shuddha Brahman. I'm sorry. Even sannyasis hesitate to say these words. Huh? Although they are there, obviously they are there, but they hesitate. I've heard a sin, I did not name it. He said, I'm a struggling sadhaka. He was giving a class on Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, and Shudra. So he said, what category you are? And this says, I'm a struggling sadhaka. He's a sannyasi. He said, I'm a struggling sadhaka. Prabhupada was giving a lecture in Germany. He was also talking about Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra. Someone asked, who are you? He said, I am a fifth class man. Prabhupada said this, recorded. I am a fifth class man. So what right do we have to say, Prabhu, you are a Shudra, I am a Brahman? Acha. That statement itself is a Shudra mentality. Because I feel I'm better than and you are. Okay, now we have to divide our work as per our nature, that's fine. But we cannot just discriminate on that purpose. It's not a very nice sort of. Prabhupada said, I'm a fifth class man. Okay. Sanjay Vyas Prabhuji, your question is answered.
Oh, I was just raising the hand to answer that question.
Oh, sorry. Please add if you wanted to add something. Please add.
Oh, no. Prabhu answered it. What's the difference between pretender and what's the difference between
Pretender and
mithyachari
struggling.
and Shravya?
Struggling sadhaka.
Was just a momentary thing, probably.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let's start 3.7. Where are we? Shashank Prabhuji, would you like to read? Now we are starting, so need to read the Sanskrit.
Yastu indriyani manasa niyam prate rajana karmayandri karmayogam akshatasha vishiyate.
So this is asaktaha. This is, if you read asaktaha, this is asakta and asakta. So asakta means attached, asakta means detached. This is vishishyate, vishesh. Okay, please translation.
On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is far superior.
Okay, I'll just open 3.6 for just comparison purpose. So 3.6, Krishna is saying, you're a mithyachari if you have controlled your karma indriyani. Just one diagram. I'll post this today, definitely. So if you remember these 24 elements, last week we discussed, I'll just quickly revise for everyone's benefit. So we have 5 karmendriya or working senses, which are voice, legs, hands, and as genital. 5 karmendriya. We have 5 jnanendriya, which is called knowledge acquiring senses, which is eyes, nose, ears, skin, and tongue. And then we have 5 tanmatras or object of senses. So for eyes, there's a form, nose, there's a smell, ears, there's a sound, skin, there's a touch, tongue, there's a taste. There's 5, 5, 5, 15. And then 5, we have Pancha Mahabhut or Mahabhut, earth, water, fire, air, ether, bhumi, rapo, anulo, vayu. And then we come as well. And then we have 3, mind, intelligence, and false ego, which is man, buddhi, and ahankar. So 23 and 24 is unmanifested, or this is 3 modes of material nature. This conforms altogether 24 elements. And 25th is soul, and 26 sometimes is super soul. Please remember that, and it will come to you today. Okay, now comparing 3.6. So karmendriyani, you have controlled karma. So karmendriyani refers to these 5 senses: voice, legs, hands, and a chin. You have controlled them. But inside in your heart, you are still thinking about indriyarthan. Where will I get form, smell, sound, touch, and taste? So inside you're thinking about that. So contrast to 3.6, Krishna is putting 3.7 now. What is 3.7? On the other side, so he's calling mithyachari. This is mithyachar, right? But on the other side, what you indriyani manasa niyam arabhate arjun. You have start conquering your indriya from the mind. So your mind is not actively seeking sense gratification, for example. What you're saying, manasa from your mind, niyam refers to regulation or control, arabhate refers to you start. Just start. We are not talking about siddhi here. Starting regulating your mind and senses. So you started regulating. You're trying. Again, this is a sadhaka stage. Karmendriyani, karmyogam. How you are regulating? Now Krishna is telling the way in third line. Karmendriya here. Same word used in 3.6. Karmendriyani. Karmendriya. So same karmendriya we are talking. So karmendriya refers to our physical senses. So we are not talking about a siddhi stage for now. We are talking karmendriya. Karmendriya again refers to voice, legs, hands, and this too. So if you're trying to engage as per the regulations, your karmendriya in what? Karma yogam. Now there the karma yoga, Prabhupada writes, begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness. So if you engage your indriya in karma yoga, engaging is the beginning stage, it's not the final stage. Asaktaha, in a detached mode. Vishishyate, that is far better. So basically what Krishna is trying to say in 3.6 and 3.7, if you just sit down, do so-called nothing, your mind is completely infatuated with sense gratificatory desires. That's not good. That's mithyachar. Rather, you start working. Rather, you start working in Karma Yoga, and Prabhupada writes in Krishna consciousness. Basically, you work for Krishna in a detached mode. Krishna is saying that work is far superior than just sitting down and thinking nothing and thinking about sense gratification. Does it make sense? 3.6 versus 3.7. So 3.6 is so-called sannyas, just sitting down in a dress and everyone comes and offer you dakshina, pranam, maharaj and all that. But 3.7, no, you go and work. Now, Prabhupada writes in the first line of his purport, instead of becoming a pseudo-transcendentalist for the sake of wanton living and sense enjoyment, it is far better to remain in one's own business and execute the purpose of life, which is to get free from material bondage, enter into the kingdom of God. The last line is so beautiful. A sincere sweeper in the street is far better than the charlatan meditator who meditates only for the sake of making a living. I love this line of Prabhupada. So clear, Prabhupada is saying, Jamadar banna better hai. A street sweeper is much better because he's trying to follow his varnashram dharma. He's looking after his family. He's doing some duties for purification purpose. There's nothing wrong with that. He's an honest person. But a person who's sitting on a big Vyasasana and just making a living out of giving some lectures and charging 5 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees and all that. Prabhupada is saying that's not good. That's not good. So that's why this mark of Krishna consciousness where we, I think initially when we're talking about Karma Yoga, dovetailing our activities, this is what Prabhupada gave. This is very, very important. Prabhupada said, you don't have to leave your ashrama, you don't have to leave your family. You be wherever you are. Grahe thako, vane thako, sada hari bole thako. Whether you live in Graha, whether you live in Vana, you become Vanachari or Grahastha, that doesn't matter. But what matters, are you trying to become Hari Bhakta? That's the most important point. So I'll read this line again. A sincere sweeper in a street is far better than a charter meditator who meditates only for the sake of making a living. So this is our purpose. Yes, Amrit Prabhuji.
Prabhu, the speakers who speak Srimad Bhagavad Katha and they take donation, how should we react to that?
Yeah. So donation is okay, Prabhu. Fees is not good. Donation means many ISKCON devotees also go. They don't charge. I'll charge 5 lakh rupees for Bhagavad Katha. We need some help for temple. Give any donation. So they will not ask a fee. So fee is different than donation. Like you go to work, you get some payment from your employer, right? So that's a fee. So every hour he pays you $200, whatever, he pays you. But a donation, when you sell book, for example, you give books to someone. Someone may give $5, someone give $50. You get sometime like that. Someone give you a big donation out of expectation. I don't know whether you came across or no. I've heard some Sankirtan stories where devotees received a big amount, not in proportion to the actual book amount. They got donation. And some people on the other side give only $2. So I only have $2. And book distributor will say, okay, take $2. Take the book. Just give me $2. So like that. So donation is different, Prabhu. But
Okay.
charging, Bhagavatam is not to be sold. What to speak of Bhagavatam, it says in Manusmriti, I think in the Bhagavatam, 12th canto, the grain was never sold in the market. When the grain gets sold in the market, understand that you guys are Kali Yuga. Just by one feature. Has anyone bought any grain in the market? In no other yuga, the grain was sold. No other yuga. So when
What
grain is
about Kirtan concerts?
sorry, Mataji.
What about Kirtan concerts that they charge fee to? What is your opinion on that?
Okay. So difficult one, Mata. Devotees are traveling, they need some money sometimes. So don't start judging everyone. But Kirtan concerts, they're traveling from India, they have their family, they also have to pay their mortgage, look after their air expense and all that. But mostly they are serving. So we should see the spirit there. Because they are not like into making. I know one couple at least, I'll not name it. They were very big in Bollywood. Very, very big in Bollywood. And I heard a personal interview for them. It was a big postcast. And they said there's no country where we have not traveled. We have worked with big, big stars. I always forget this Bollywood and Hollywood. Okay, Bollywood stars, right? But then they left everything. They became Krishna conscious. And now they are going around the world. They charge some money for the music concerts. But if you see their videos, you talk to them, they're one of the most humble devotees in the whole planet. And I love them as well. So yeah, they charge some money, which is not bad because they need to propagate Krishna consciousness. So not everyone can be judged with the same scale, I would say. But generally, we rely on Krishna. Prabhupada also went out and asked for donation. We are building a temple. Can you please help us? There was a life membership program where devotees were going and making life membership cards for different people. So yeah, but the purpose is to serve Krishna, not like if I get another, $200, I'll buy better shoes. When it comes down to that, then you understand what we are talking. When you get $200, give it to Krishna, give it to Gopinath. New temple is coming, we welcome donations. Is it okay, Meera Mataji?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it depends, right? Like
Yeah,
how they utilize the money.
how do you
Like
utilize
some
it?
they give it
Absolutely, Mataji.
to the
Yes.
temple, some they use it to run the program,
Yeah.
some they use it to feed their family, but
Yeah.
it's person
So
to
the
person.
bottom line is, if they're serving Krishna primarily, again, they have a family, they have to, give some rent, they need to pay some other living expenses. But what are they primarily looking for? Just the
Still
money?
not really a donation. It's more like a salary for them, like income for them.
Yeah, and sometimes it happens in some temples, some people get some salaries, but I think leave it to the temple management. We are nowhere in that situation to decide right or wrong. Yeah, but generally we see the intention behind the activity rather than just seeing the activity. Generally, outside people, their intention is wrong. The activity may seem right, but the intention is wrong. They're living very, very high, luxurious lifestyles. Once the Katha Vachak, you see, they are having their life, their wash will be like, I don't know, 20 lakh rupees. Their bags will be 30 lakhs. And you know what I'm saying? That sort of lifestyle, where the money is going, at least a majority. Anyway, sometimes we may not know the full picture as well. Okay, 3.8. Who's next in my... Meera Mataji, you're the one.
नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म जयो हि आकर्मण शरीरायात्र पीचाते na prasidhyat akarmana. Perform your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work.
Thank you, Mataji. So, niyatam kuru. Niyatam refers to prescribed. Karma refers to karma. So, kuru means to do. Tvam, you. So, hey Arjun, please do your prescribed duties. And what's the prescribed duty for Arjun? Very clear. Kshatriya. He's a Kshatriya in this stage of life, and his prescribed duty is to fight. So, basically, niyatam kuru. So, niyatam kuru for A householder can be different, a sannyasi can be different. Every different varna and ashram will have their different prescribed duties. So he's saying, you do your niyatam kuru karma. That's very, very clear instruction of karma. Karma jayo here karmana. So jayo refers to better. Jaya sityat karmanaste 3.1 jayo word is used there as well. So jayo refers to better. So karma jayo here karmana. So I prefer, Krishna is saying that, I'm not. Krishna is saying karma is better than akarma. Akarma here refers to inactivity. So just don't just sit down and become a mithyachari, become a pretender. Rather, you do your prescribed duties. I recommend karma is better than inactivity, akarma. Why? One reason Krishna is giving here, Sharir Yatra Pichate. So Sharir Yatra, we know Vrindavan Yatra, Mayapur Yatra, some devotee went to Banaras Yatra recently. All this. Now we are talking about Sharir Yatra. What does Sharir Yatra mean? Who can say? Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, soul yatra. It's
Soul Yatra, Krishna Vallabha Mata. Thank you. Soul is sitting on a body. Your body is a sharir, yantra. Yantra Rani Maya. We'll read about it in 18th chapter. So soul is also having a journey, isn't it? This body, whatever is being given to us, is taking us from A to B in terms of consciousness, also, even in exploring our desires. This body is given to fulfill our desires, basically, at least some of them, right? So soul is having a journey, sharir yatra. We're going to Vrindavan Yatra, so it's Sharir Yatra. This time we are having a human body, tomorrow you may have a demigod body, then you have a dog body or a cat body. Sharir Yatra is going on. Sharir Yatra. But to Sharir Yatra also, to maintain the physical body also, you need to work, isn't it? Who can not work and still maintain the body? We have to work. Shariryatrapi chatena na prasiddhyat akarmana. From akarma, from inactivity, you cannot even maintain your body. So Krishna is giving multiple reasons to Arjun to do his activity. One reason is given for purification purpose, you have to do. One he is giving for maintenance of the body. Also you have to do karma, activity here. And karma here refers to niyatam karma, not any karma. Niyat karma means niyat, what is prescribed. 3.9. This very famous verse. Sridhar Srinivas Prabhu, Hari Krishna. Would you like to read?
यज्ञाद्धता कर्मणो अन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः तदार्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचरा. Translation: work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for this satisfaction. And in that way, you will always remain free from bondage.
Thank you, Prabhuji. This very famous verse. Now, if we connect 3.8 and 3.9, let's see what we see. So 3.6 and 7 we understood. Who can explain 3.6 and 7 quickly? Aish Prabhu? 3.6, 3.7. Message only, message.
So 3.6 is saying that there's no point being a pretender, like those who show that they're controlling their mind, but actually are in their mind contemplating on it, are false pretenders. Whereas if somebody is sincerely trying to control their mind and senses by doing karma yoga, they're far better. Like you said, mundane street sweeper is better than a false sannyasi.
Thank you. 3.8. What is 3.8 saying?
So 3.8 is saying that like do your duty. It is much better than not doing any doing a karma or not performing any action. Even for maintaining the body, you need to do some
Thank you,
karma.
So basically, the message 3.8, you can say karma jayo hi akarma. So Krishna is saying superior is karma rather than akarma. Now Arjun's question can be back to Krishna, which is not in Bhagavad Gita here, but if I do karma, I'll get bondage. So Krishna is saying, no, that understanding is not correct. Let's go 3.9. This is Krishna's answer for Arjuna's. If I do karma, will I get into bondage? Krishna is saying, no. How? Yagyarthat karmanonyata. So karma you are doing for what? Yagya purpose. The first verse in Bhagavad Gita where word yagya is used. Now yagya has multiple meanings. One meaning we know, at least coming from an Indian background, yagya means fire yagya. That's what we understand. Yagya means fire has to be there, Panditji has to be there, some smoke has to be there, some some tears has to come out while you're sitting next to. So actually that is one type of sacrifice. There can be multiple types of sacrifice. Sacrifice refers to something which we like, we want to enjoy, but we give to someone. That's called sacrifice, isn't it? Mother or father doing sacrifice of their sleep. Someone have a young baby, they know, especially mothers or sometimes fathers as well, huh? Whole night they have to be awake with the baby many, many nights, huh? What can they do? So that's their sacrifice. They sacrifice their time, energy, everything for the development, nurture of the baby. Huh? So that's called yajna. So yajna means doing something for a higher purpose, sacrificing something little which I can enjoy, but for a higher purpose, I give it away. So it's saying, or yajna also means Lord Vishnu. So Vishnu Sahasranam, there's one name of Lord Vishnu is called Yajna. He is Yajnapati. I'll talk about that. So Yajnarthat Karmanyatar. So if you do karmano for Yajna Artha, for Lord Vishnu, then the bandhana, the bondage will not happen. Anayatra loko anayatra, if you do it for any other purpose other than Lord Vishnu, what will happen? Karma bandhanaha, you'll get karma bandhan. So if you are doing any activity for the sake, for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu, then no karma bandhana will apply. And that's the what we are trying to do, isn't it? As a okay, aspiring devotees, we are trying to do all our activities, whatever we do, for ourselves, for our family, we're trying to do for the pleasure of Lord. At least we are trying to connect in some way or other. So if we do that, as per this verse, there is no karma bandhan. But if we leave the Vishnu side of the picture, what will happen? Karma bandhan will surely come. So what is the message of Krishna to Arjuna? Yes, with karma also you will not get any karma bandhan. All you have to do it for yajnarthat. ठीक है? यज्ञार्थात. Tadartham karma konte mukta sangha. If you do for Lord Vishnu, mukta sangha samachara, you will get mukta. There's a verse. Okay, it's not here. I thought Prabhupada was giving. Prabhupada is a Bhagavatam verse. I can't remember the verse number exactly. So in that verse, it's described for Krishna. He's Yajnapati. He's Shripati, he is Dhyapati. Dhya refers to our intelligence. Yajna refers to fire sacrifices. Shri refers to Lakshmi. He is the Pati of everyone. And then finally, the author says he is Satam Pati. Satam Pati Satam refers to devotees. Pati. Pati means Rakshak, Swami, Master, Palan karne wala, protector. He is called Pati. So there are many Patis in the world, but the ultimate Pati is Krishna. He is our ultimate maintainer. So we all have a Pati, whether you are in a male body or female body. And who is that Pati? Is Krishna. Our Radha Gopinath is our real Pati. Everyone else is a smaller Pati, secondary Pati, and they are all to be respected. But ultimate Pati is Lord Krishna. So if you do that service, any seva for the Pati, because he is the Yajnapati, he is the Shripati, he is the Dhyapati, he is Dharapati, he is Dharapati. Dhara means earth. He is the Pati of everything. So if you do that activity for that Pati, for that Supreme Master, then you get no karma bandhana. I'll just read Prabhupada purport here. Yajna means Lord Vishnu or sacrificial performance. All sacrificial performance also are meant for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. The Vedas enjoin Yajna vai Vishnu. In other words, same purpose served whether one performs prescribed yajnas or directly serves Lord Vishnu. So you may have to perform a sacrifice or you may not. But if you perform your activity for the service of Lord Vishnu, you have already done everything. In 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, I think it's 11.532, Krishna Vardhantu Krishna, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prophecy is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Say, Yagyaiha Sankirtana Prayar Yajantihi Sumedha. So in Kali Yuga, Prabhupada is writing, we are to be followed, not these fire sacrifices, which we may do sometime, but the main thing is Sankirtan Yajna. So we are doing Sankirtan Yajna. Sankirtan Yajna includes obviously chanting the holy name, going on Harinam, book distribution, whatever is glorifying Krishna, that is called Sankirtan. Kirtan means glorification. Sang means complete glorification of the Lord. Complete here refers to whatever capacities we have. Within that capacity, we are trying to glorify the Lord. And when we do that, this is called Sankirtan Yajna. Whether we are assisting someone, we cannot preach, that's fine. We can assist someone who is preaching. We can drive someone. We can give some Lakshmi if we have. We can give some assistance to this person who is trying to preach the name of Krishna. I also get the benefit because I am helping in that Sankirtan movement. Many times some sannyasis were saying some Prabhuji is going for, say, preaching classes, Mataji is looking after the kids at home. So is Mataji is getting the benefit of Sankirtan Yajna? Absolutely, absolutely, because she is helping in the family life so that Prabhu can go out, or other way. So both gets the same benefit. But Maharaj was saying in a class, if Mataji is chaste and serving a Krishna conscious husband like that, even if she's not able to chant 16 hours, I'm not recommending that to you all. Please consult your spiritual guides on that. But Prabhupada, if you're not able to do it, you still get the benefit of complete whatever spiritual sukrati the husband is getting. Mataji gets exactly the same. And there the half of 16 is 16. So not half of 16, both gets 8 rounds. They both get 16 rounds. This is spiritual piety, spiritual sukrati, because they're both trying to serve Krishna in their own ways. It's not like someone sitting behind the scene is not getting the benefit. Someone in the camera seva is getting all the benefit, It's not the case actually. Sometimes the camera seva actually can be very dangerous. And sitting behind the scene doing some menial services can be more beneficial. But it doesn't mean you don't do camera seva. Some people have to do that seva as well. Meera Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just one question. Regarding this particular verse, it says that we need to perform our prescribed duties in line with Krishna so that we do not get impacted by any material reactions. But what about the current material activities that we are involved in, such as our day-to-day work life, which is totally different from our spiritual life? So how do we implement Krishna into that?
Thank you. Very practical question Mother is asking. We are all involved in these activities, which seem like very opposite actually.
Yes, exactly.
They don't bring us upliftment of consciousness. Actually, they bring downgrade of our consciousness. When we go out in the material world, is too much. So simple answer to start with is, Keshav Maharaj does that. Our intention matters. So although your 8 hours of work activity, for example, can be very exhausting, can bring your consciousness down and all those things, it may happen. But our intention is still through that activity, you're trying to serve the Lord. You get $100 and complete $100 you're trying to dedicate in the service of Lord. That includes paying your rent. You have to pay your rent. You have to pay your car petrol and all those things, because car is running for Krishna. Now, how to deal with this consciousness upliftment or degradation? So, simple answer. Prabhupada said, Keshamara also said, we have to have very strong sadhana. So when we get up, Maharaj called it 5 a.m. club. Keshav Maharaj called it 5 a.m. club. So if you join 5 a.m. club, I'm also struggling, I'll be very honest here. If you join 5 a.m. club, you have very, very strong sadhana. So he says, before you join 9 a.m. club, join 5 a.m. club. So 9 a.m. club, at work, you're with your work colleagues and discussing all the serious mundane matters. So if you have very strong sadhana, then you can deal with 9 to 5 job very easily. And when you come home, you again take bath, change your clothes, and again do Gaura Aarti. And then you sit with your family if that's possible. Then read Bhagavad Gita. Family who prays together, eats together, stays together. That's what they say. So if you sort of prefix and suffix add Krishna consciousness in very much with the strength, then what happens between 9 and 5 does not impact you as bad as it will impact you without that prefix and suffix. If that makes sense, Mataji. Yeah. So intention to start with matters. So our intention is to serve Krishna. And we are not so strong at this stage. But again, we try to do strong sadhana around it. And in between lunch break, if you have time, open Bhagavad Gita, read a verse or two. And that again brings memory. One devotee was telling in his work there, so he has put some photos of Krishna, if that works for you. Everyone's workplace may be different. Sometimes he'll put a shloka, just writing in Sanskrit language in a little post-it notes and stick it to his desk, basically. So he'll remember the shloka. No one else can read that shloka. So whatever works for you. In your phone, you can have some reminders, you can have a screen, something like that. Yeah, there are multiple ways. Be there. And one day we will be really there. Okay, 3.10. Who is next? Krishna Vallabha Mataji.
साहयज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरुवोचा प्रजापति अनेना प्रसविष्यद्वाम् एषा वोस्तव इष्टकामधुक्. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods. along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and bless them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yagna sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation."
Thank you, Mataji. Before I go into this verse, I'm looking at this verse here, which I was trying to refer in the last verse Prabhupada has given, because I read that before coming to this class. So Lord is 2:420. श्रियापति यज्ञपति प्रजापति धियापति लोकपति धरापतिर पतिर्गतिश्चा अंधक प्रश्नि सात्वताम prasidhatam me bhagwan satam pati. Very beautiful verse, huh? So he's describing the glories of Krishna. This is by Shukadev Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, let's come here. So Sahayagya Prajashashta Puro Vaj Prajapati. Now before we come there, let's come here. Now we have just finished the first section of the third chapter, renunciation of work or work in devotion, as Arjuna was asking. So basically in Hindi, if I have to say, karma se sannyas or karma me sannyas. Karma se sannyas means no karma, sannyas le liya. I'm not doing any activity. Karma me sannyas means I am doing the activity but with a sannyas mentality. So which is more important, the external renunciation of work or internal renunciation of work? Which is more important? Keshav Prabhu.
Internal.
So कर्म से संन्यास नहीं लेना है कर्म करना है we all have to do our prescribed duties. कर्म में संन्यास, while doing duty you are detached. I'm not going to enjoy this is for the enjoyment of Lord Vishnu. Now this is the first section. Our second section which we are reading now, we're going to start reading from verse 10 onward, from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga, because someone may not be at the level of Karma Yoga, he may only be at the level of Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda refers to, who can say the definition of Karma Kanda? Salan Prabhu. Definition of Karma Kanda, one liner.
Doing ritualistic activities.
Okay, and can you just explain? Ritualistic means?
Like following rules and regulations from the scriptures, just for the sake of following, not for spiritual benefit, but for material benefits.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So we are following the rules and regulations. This is given in scriptures, but for our personal benefit. This is not adharma, this is dharma, but this is for our benefit, not Lord's benefit here. Thank you, Prabhu. So if someone is on that level, on a Karma Kanda level, how do you uplift from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga? This is what we are reading, 10 to 16. Okay, let's come to verse 10 now. So Sahayagya Prajashashta. So Sahayagya, Krishna is talking about Sahayagya. Sahayagya refers to Yagya, doing Saha, together. So when we are doing together, Prajashashta, so in the beginning, Prajapati. Now Prajapati is an interesting word. Now Krishna is, Prabhupada ji is saying, along with the sacrifices of Vishnu. So in this translation, Prabhupada is writing Prajapati as Vishnu. In some translations, I have heard this is known as Lord Brahma. Now, both are correct in the sense, because Vishnu has provided the things to Lord Brahma, and then Lord Brahma, as we know, he is the secondary creator. He's not the primary. And it can also refers to Lord Vishnu. As per this verse also, Vishnu is the Prajapati, the real Prajapati. Then we talk about Brahma is a Prajapati, Daksha Prajapati, is many other Santan is also a Prajapati. But they are Prajapati as a representative of Lord Vishnu. So either translation is correct. Prabhupada is writing Lord Vishnu here. Puravaj Prajapati, Anenda Prasvishadhem. Prasvishadhem refers to be more and more prosperous. So if you want to be happy in this world, you need some things, and that's not denied. But how do you achieve that thing? Through yagya. So when we do yagya, you achieve the things. Now, we are not talking about your karma kanda or karma yoga level, but the point is, if you want to achieve something, achieve through yagya. And through the yagya, you will be very, very prosperous, and that yagya will become your kam dhuk. Dhuk means milking. Kam means kamna. Through that yagya, you can milk any desire. Basically, the point is, Lord Vishnu will fulfill all your desire if you are following your dharma, if you are following your prescribed duties. That's what this verse says. So follow your prescribed duties, follow the dharma, follow the yagya, and all your desires, kam dhuk, will be fulfilled. I'll share a chart soon. Let's read one or two more verses and we'll connect all these verses together. 3:11. Salan Prabhu, you're the next. Sailen Prabhu?
Sorry, Prabhu. I was just changing from Wi-Fi to data because my Wi-Fi wasn't working properly.
Okay,
I was
can you
having
read
it.
or
Yeah,
we can
I can read now. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Deva Bhava Devan Bhavayatanena Te Deva Bhavayantu Va Parasparam Bhavayanta Shreya Param Avapsyata. The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, and thus, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So Devan refers to demigods, we know. Bhavayata, Prabhupada writes, having pleased. Anena refers to yajna, because we are talking this yajna things here for 3.9, 3.10, 3.11. We are all talking about this yajna. So Devan Bhavyata Anena. If you do yajna, Anena, Devan will be pleased. So if you do yajna, Devas will be pleased. Thank you. Deva Bhavyantuva. If Devas are pleased, what they will do? Bhavyantuva. They will please us. So if we please Devatas, they will please us. That's what this verse is saying. Parasparam bhavyanta. Bhavyanta refers to, paraspar refers to each other. You make each other happy. Huh? So you are doing yajna for demigods, and demigods are becoming happy. Suppose Indra yajna, we can say from Srimad Bhagavatam, when Gopas were doing the Indra yajna before Krishna came, was Indra providing the rain? Yes or no? Yeah, right. So they were doing something for Indra, Indra was doing something back for them. And they were both parasparam bhavyantaha, both pleasing each other. If you do that, Shreya Param Avapsatha, you will achieve Shreya. And here Prabhupada writes, prosperity will reign for all. So basically, this universal management is very nicely described in Shastra and very practical. So people do yajna, whether it's Indra yajna, Agni yajna, whatever we're talking on a Karma Kanda level. When you do all these yajnas, what happens? The demigods will be pleased with that. And when they are pleased, they will provide you the necessities which you need. And when you're doing this with each other, everyone is happy, happy, happy. Huh? That's what Prabhupada is saying. This is obviously on a Karma Kanda level we are talking. We're not talking Krishna conscious level here. The demigods are empowered administrators of material affairs. The supply of air, light, water, and all other benedictions for maintaining the body and soul of every living entity is entrusted to the demigods. So, when we talk about demigods, we should never disrespect them. Sometimes in passion, we say something against demigods. Actually, they are appointed by Krishna, so they have to be respected. Now, they are not the ultimate authorities, no doubt in that, but they are very respectable people. They are Sakam Bhakta, they talk to Krishna many times, and it says Indra and Brahmaji, sometimes we talk about their faults, and just for the lesson purpose, but we should personally never disrespect them, because they are very, very highly elevated beings actually. They're not pure devotees, but they're still Sakam devotees. Krishna takes birth in the family of Indra, for example, he becomes Upinder. So they have been appointed by Krishna himself based on their qualification, so that they can take charge of one department. Like we know, Nimi Maharaj is the in charge of the department of blinking our eyes. If Nimi Maharaj is not happy with us, we cannot blink our eyes. Huh? One Maharaj was saying, there is a demigod in charge for passing things out of our body. If that demigod becomes unhappy, we'll be in trouble, huh? So there are different demigods in charge, even in our body. What to speak of air god, sun god, this and that. Huh? So they need to be respected, and they are doing a duty assigned by Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, if Indra starts thinking, "Yes, I am supreme," that's wrong. Huh? And then Krishna has to teach a lesson to Indra. But we should not disrespect from that perspective. Okay. Performance of yajnas has many side benefits, ultimately leading to liberation from material bondage. Okay. Amrit Prabhuji, you had a question?
Yes, Prabhu, but it's solved now.
It's solved now. Hari bol. Thank you. So it's talking about parasparam bhavyanta, so please each other. And that applies on this material world as well. So please each other in a nice way, we are saying. So you do your duty, others do your duty, and the whole thing is going on nicely. 3.12. Preeti Mataji or Rajesh Prabhu, you have a question?
Yes, Prabhu. I didn't get the connection between the 10 and 11.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's open 10. Yeah, so it's talking about Purovaj Prajapati. So when Lord Krishna created this whole living creation, this universe, he actually recommended yajna. I'll show you a picture for Rajesh Prabhu and for everyone else. This is the picture not made by me. This is by Tyag Chaitanya Das Prabhu. So all glories to him. So this picture represents from 310 Rajesh Prabhu till 314. So I'm just going to read the verses and come back to this picture. That was my plan. So basically what's happening in this picture is talking about how from Supreme Lord everything has come. And then while we are here, we are interdependent on each other things. And that's what we are reading, Prabhu. Should I read 2 more verses and then come back to your question? Is that okay? Yeah, and then we can link everything because all the 3-4 verses are going together. Okay, let's read. Priti Mataji, if you could read 3:12.
Istan bhogan hi vo deva dasyanti yagna bhavita dayadatan aparadayavyo yog bhunke stane ivasa. In the charge of various necessity of life, the demigod, being satisfied by the performance of yagna, will supply all necessity to you, but he who enjoys such gift without offering them to the demigod in return is certainly a thief.
Thank you, Mataji. So Istan Bhogan Hivo Deva. So Istan Bhogan, whatever desires a living entity may have while performing the yajna. Again, we are talking about Karma Kanda level here. So Istan Bhogan, you may have a certain desire, and then for that certain desire, you are worshipping a certain demigod, which is fine. Dasyante yajna bhavita. Dasyante refers to pleasing. If you do yajna with that bhava, with that desire, worshipping that demigod, he will be pleased. Tair dattan aparadebhyo. Aparadebhyo means, but if you not offer, aparadebhyo, you are not offering that to the demigod, yo bhungten, you are just taking yourself. Now we can say, all devotees here, we offer everything to Lord Krishna. We do not accept any bhoga. You buy a mango, you first offer to Krishna and then you accept it. If you just accept it without offering, it's called bhoga. And that's not considered very nice. But when you offer to Radha Gopinath or any picture of Krishna you may have in your house, that becomes prasad. So if you do not offer to Gopinath, what happens? It becomes pap actually. Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj once, I heard in a story, he was only 4-year-old. Bhakti Thakur, his father, got some mangoes in the house, and Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj took one mango without offering to the Lord. Later, Bhakti Thakur very lovingly chastised Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj, telling you must offer to Krishna first and then accept. This becomes prasad. Now, just at the age of 4-year-old, Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj that time, he took a vow, I am an offender of mango. I will never accept mango in my whole life. So Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj never ate mango in his whole life. And if you ask why, I'm an offender, so I cannot eat mango. Now just imagine this principles in our life. How many times we have made this mistake of not offering to Krishna. But serious devotee takes it so seriously, so seriously. 4-year-old child, huh? He doesn't have much intelligence. Avyan is how many year old, Mata? He's 4? Okay, he's 4. So Avyan, he's very, very young. If he does anything, why? No one will mind even. He can say anything, he can do anything, no one will mind. That age, Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj. Huh? So they are acharyas, obviously. They can do many big, big things. But the point is, even such a young age, he was fully Krishna conscious that I have offended by not offering this mango to Krishna. So basically, bhukte, istena refers to chor, thief. The stena word is used in Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam, 10th canto as well. So stena word you can remember in your register in your mind. So if you do not offer the things to the demigods, again on that perspective we are talking, you become a stena, you become a thief. Now you should not think, if I not do certain offering to the demigod, the demigods will be bereft of the offering. We read in Bhagavatam, again in the Yajna example we can take, when Indra Yajna was not offered, after Krishna advised Prajavasis, then Indra became very angry. So we should not take like, they'll not get some bhojan or something. Huh? So if you don't do the offering for the devas, they will not get bhojan. So they will still get the bhojan. In 4th canto, Daksha sort of curses Lord Shiva that you will not get the Yajna Bhag. What does it mean actually? Will Shiva be hungry or something? Indra is being hungry. So it's not about being hungry when a human beings like us, we are so insignificant. Do not do offering for a demigod. Demigods will be hungry. Not like that. is about not following a proper system established by Krishna. Actually, this system is also established by Krishna, this karma kanda. So when we don't follow the system, we defy the authority, then it's not good for us. It's not about demigod being hungry. It's about if we defy that system of offering that to our authority, working under that authority, then it's not good. And we can see that in our personal life as well. If we do not follow the authority nicely, we're talking in a positive way here, not in a negative way, then our life will be disturbed. We're not following our mentors, our guides, Srila Prabhupada guidelines. At least we are not trying to follow. If you're trying to follow and failing, that's okay. But we are not trying to follow our authority, that becomes a problem. So similarly, Krishna is saying, if you do not offer to demigods, you will be considered as istena, a chore, a thief. Srinivas Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, here in the Viswarupa, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the canto, where Viswarupa will come and he become like a guru to the all the devatas.
So Krishna will become guru for all the devatas?
Yeah, because he shared the yajna bhag to the Rakshasas. That's why the Indra will get the annoyed and chop the head of the Vishwarupa.
Oh, okay. So you're talking Bhagavatam Vishwarupa. Okay.
Bhagavatam Vishwarupa.
Okay,
So
sorry,
in
I was,
that,
yeah,
that
thinking
means
something.
is that a Havan, whatever the yajna bhag, is giving strength to these devatas, or how it works, Prabhu?
Yes. So when we do any offering, thank you, Prabhuji, very nice question. So how does it work? So in principle, we can talk. So in the hierarchies of demigods, I didn't want to go in that direction. Thank you, Srinivas Prabhu. In the hierarchy of demigods, obviously Krishna is the ultimate, so not putting Krishna here. The Agni is considered the lowest. Now here, lowest does not mean Agni Devata is the lowest demigod. Is lowest means is most accessible to humans. Agni is considered the mouth. Now it's a mouth of Vishnu, sometimes mouth for devatas as well. Even if you're doing Indra Yagya, where do you offer the grains? In Agni itself. Huh? There are 45 different types of Agnis, we'll not talk there. So Agni carries all this. So coming back to Srinivas Prabhu's question, so Prabhu, Agni carries that Yagya Bhag to that particular Devata, and that Devata does get strength by that. Yes. Now if you're not doing that Yagya, that demigod, again, not a physical hanger of a human being, we're not talking about that, that strength is not given. Does that make sense?
My question, Prabhu, like the Rakshasas want the Havan Bhag. That means this is giving strength to those people, because by taking the entire Yajna Bhag to the Devatas, they are getting strengthened. Can you able to give this some portion to us? The Vishwarupa is stealing some portion and give it to the his relatives of the Danavas.
Yes. So because
So
he's
because
doing
of that, like
so
after
Rakshas, so Rakshasas are not getting this Agni Bhag and all that. What is happening, Prabhu? So Vishwarup is doing Yagya as a Yajman for them. So when you hire a priest, for example, Prabhuji, and then you say, Putra Kamesti Yagya, for example. I want a Putra, can you perform a Yagya for me? So Vishwarupa actually became the priest, unhired priest. So Indra hired him for his purposes, but while he is hired by Indra, he's working. Suppose Bill Gates hired you for a work, but while Bill Gates is hiring you on a company resource, you're making inside NASA, you're making a ship for India, for example. Bill Gates won't be happy, isn't it? So it's like that is happening. So not getting Yagya Bhag from that perspective. He's making an offering on the name of his Yajman, which is not there, should not be there. So Yajman will get benefit. It's not getting through Agni, because that's not prescribed for Asuras. Asuras don't get that. Their role is not there. And when we say Hiranyakashipu was accepting of the offering in 7th canto, he has assumed the roles of all the demigods. So Agni, Vayu, Chandra, Varun, everyone was redundant from the job. And Hiranyakashipu took over all the roles, and he is accepting all the Yagya Bhag. Is that making sense, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Prabhu, can I ask
Yes,
one?
Amrit Prabhuji.
So when Hiranyakashipu is accepting all these yagya for himself, is the sun god, moon god, Indra, etc., are they getting weaker, or do they have the same strength
They
as
don't they don't have job, Prabhuji, now anymore. They don't have job. So he is taking them out of the job, and they're doing jhadu pocha in his palace. That's what is explained. So like Shani is
what
cutting
about them?
sabji.
Powers?
Powers is gone, Prabhu. The power, say, suppose you sit in a seat of president. So powers come from that seat, right? Now you have been taken out from that seat. Now powers does not here mean so physical power. President,
Yeah, yeah.
suppose you become Indian president tomorrow. I hope. Nice one. So powers will come to you automatically, right? Because that seat offers you power. So sun god currently is Vivaswan. Tomorrow someone else will in the seat, that seat. He'll get those powers. So when Hiranyakashipu have thrown him out, thrown them out from their seats, the power is lost. They're just like a normal kitchen hand, say cutting aloo in the kitchen of Hiranyakashipu.
And the yagyas that we are giving, or the brahmanas,
Is going to Hiranyakashipu.
and he is becoming stronger.
He's becoming stronger because he's getting the yagya bhag. He's asura. He's assumed those positions artificially, not by eligibility, like by force. I run into your house, put gun onto your head, give me everything.
So for the demigod worship, it's a two-way street. We are providing them yagya, and they become more powerful. They become happy, and
They become happy. Yes, yeah.
And they then fulfill our desire.
Yes, because when your boss is happy, he'll give you bonus, isn't it? He'll give you timely payment. He'll give you bonus. Boss is happy. You're doing everything as per his command. These demigods are honest, right? Our boss may not be honest. It's a different story. Suppose you have an honest boss, isn't it?
Yeah.
You work for an honest boss. When you do your work nicely, he's happy and he'll say, Hare Krishna Amrit Prabhu, here's your New Year bonus. Here's your India bonus. Here's your ashram bonus. Here we go. Radha Gopinath is your boss. Is that okay?
Bro, but isn't the demigods like powers already assigned by God? I mean, I thought
Yes.
that they already had like the powers which were given to them by God. But are you saying that the power is just like superficial based on their position, and once they're out of the position, they lose
Prabhu, demigods change. Every one manvantar, all the demigods change. So Indra will change, Varun, Surya, they will change. Different person will come on that seat.
But in the case of like when Hiranyakashipu kicked them off their positions, they still had their powers, just that Hiranyakashipu had overpowered them. But that does not mean they became like they lost their
They lost the
demi-
seat, Prabhu. So physically, as I said, if you are a prime minister, you got all the powers. Again, the powers is not in Narendra Modi's body, it's in his position, right? When Narendra Modi is no more Pradhan Mantri anymore, then he's lost his power. So similarly, when the Surya Dev is not on that position, his powers are gone. So he has to resume that position to achieve all those powers. 60,000 sages, even now, every day, is actually praising Suryadev. He's going with the chariot. It's written in Bhagavatam. 60,000 sages going with the Suryadev, Vivaswan, and actually praising the glories of Suryadev. Every day it's happening. Now Suryadev is not there in the chariot. Just imagine that. And all the praises are going to different person who's assuming that seat on that day.
But don't they have like bodily powers as well?
Yeah, so bodily power is one thing. Like you may have a bodily power and you have a kursi power, chair power. Which is more? Bodily power is there like a normal person. You can lift how much, Prabhuji? I don't know, 100 kilos. You're a pretty powerful person. Huh? But you become an IAS, PCS, then you can lift a lot more, isn't it? Because that comes from your chair. When the chair is taken, your personal powers are there. You're still able to chop vegetables. Demigods were doing that in the kitchen. But no, they can't. They can't do much more than that. The limited powers, basically. They are in a different beings, Prabhuji. Obviously, they have some birth powers. Like we can't stand in the sky. Demigods always stand in the sky. Their eyes don't blink. They have a garland. There are 4 differences between human and demigods. That will be there by Janmajat. Like a machli can swim. No one trains a machli how to swim. Human kids you have to take every week, half an hour, pay the money, be there. They still don't learn. $25 for half an hour. But they don't learn. Some kids learn. Machlis are better by birth. No training required. So that's their birthright, Prabhu. So with the birth, they will have some powers, and that's definitely there. But that power of the position is lost. Okay.
Yes, bro. Also, sorry, just another quick one. The Agni Dev carrying the sacrifice part, I wasn't very clear on. Could you
Okay,
just
so there are different type of Agnis, Prabhuji, depending on different ceremony. Suppose there is a marriage yagya, some is Antyeshti yagya. So for different yagyas, the Pandit, the priest, invites a different types of Agni, and that Agni becomes the carrier of that sacrificial thing. Suppose you offer some grains in the sacrifice, that Agni's job is to carry that grain, for example, from human being, you, to that Devata for which you are doing the yajna. So Agni does that. So there are different types of yajna, different type of ceremonies in which you invoke different types of Agni. So Agni, which is invoked in a Daha Sanskar, in the final rites of a person, is different than a marriage Sanskar. Is different than another Sanskar. You know, there are different types of Sanskar. So a good priest knows all that, and then he invokes that Agni, and then offers that, and then Agni carries if he has purity. Yeah. Okay. Sakhi Radhika Mataji, you wanted to add something?
So I was just saying that whatever, I have heard it in a class. So whatever we offer, it's like a extra gratitude which we do it to the demigods. They are not benefited as such as completely by that. It is like an appreciation. So everybody is appreciated like that. But their whole strength also comes from Krishna. And so it's not like they keep on changing, and it's like and like you were saying PCS or something. The normal people would come and say thank you, might give some kheer, might give some mithai ka dabba, but that doesn't make them powerful. That just is like an incentive, extra incentive which we provide, but they think that it is my right, like Indra said. Then it is wrong. So then Krishna corrects.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mata. So that's the proper understanding. Okay, let's move to the 313. This is another very, very famous verse. Now, after Preeti Mataji, Apeksha Mataji. Sorry if I'm reading your name incorrectly.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mata.
I'll just 3.13. Yagnasistasi nasanto muchyante sarvakilvise bhunjante te tva agham papa ye pajantyatma karanat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin.
Thank you, Mataji. Again, very, very, very famous verse, which devotees often use to counter-argue. Vegetables also have life. So we don't eat vegetables just like that. We are not vegetarians, Prabhupada said. We are Krishnatarians. So if Krishna asks us to offer vegetables, we do that. And by doing that, we get the benefit. The vegetables which we are offering gets the benefit. Obviously, they have life. Shastra says, Jivo Jiva se bhojanam. One Jiva is surviving on the bhojan of another Jiva. So yes, we are. But this is how we are minimizing first the violence, and then secondary, this is offered to Krishna. So all the karma which does exist in plucking the vegetables or fruits gets nullified by offering to Krishna. So what we are doing, Yagyashishta. Yagyashishta refers to remnants of the yagya. Santa refers to devotees. Satam refers to devotees. Santa also. Santa Purush we say in Hindi. Okay. Muchante refers to leave aside. What they leave aside? Sarv kil bishai. Kil bishai refers to pap, sinful reactions. So devotees, because they accept only the remnants of the yagya, remnants of yagya refers to you get any food stuff, any clothing or anything for that sake, and you come and offer to your altar deities. Say, Krishna, I've got this. And then when Krishna accepts that, then you use that, that becomes prasad or yagyashishta, the remnants of yagya. So devotees always do that so that they are muchyante sarvakil vishaya. They are not getting any sinful reactions. Bhujjate te tva agham papa ye pachanti atma karanat. It's quite Hindi sentence actually. Ye pachanti pachate hain, khate hain. One who eats Atma Karanat, only for say their tongue's pleasure. So you buy anything anywhere or you plug anything anywhere and you just start eating, for example. What you are doing, bhunjate, actually you are accepting agham papa. So agha also refers to pap also refers to pap. So here we are saying pap square. So you are eating pap square. Some people eat pap square, some pap cube, some pap to the power of 4, 10, 100. So powers keep increasing. if we are not offering to Krishna. Now someone asks, okay, I'll offer to Krishna. I like meat. Can I offer meat to Krishna? Because you are saying offer to Krishna. Prabhupada said, no, we offer to our guest what he likes. Huh? If some guest comes to your house, your brother comes to your house, you'll not offer him something which he hates. So Krishna has asked us to offer 926, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, for example. So we offer that food stuff to Krishna, and through that, we are always out of Sarvkil Vishaya. So basically, the verse is saying everything must be offered to the Lord. Okay, when I say everything, refers to everything offerable. In Hindi, they call it Naivedya. Naivedya means what is offerable to the Lord. Huh? Not anything and everything can be offered. What is offerable? What is eligible to offer to the Lord, we offer. Then Lord accepts first and then we accept second. And by that, we are Muchante Sarvkil Vishaya. Not only that, not only no sinful reactions comes, also we get bhakti. It says when food enters into our body, then sin may enter. But when prasad enters into our body, then bhakti enters into our body. So Prabhupada said, by eating every bite of prasad, we are going back to Godhead. By eating every bite of prasad. So we should never underestimate the value of prasadam. Okay, next.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Yes,
Just
Prabhuji?
one thing I was very curious about. One thing happened where one person saw devotees were offering cakes and all of that to the Lord, or milk products, and he made like a sakasi, he's like, "Ye kaun sa patram hai?" So I was actually also very curious when we offer these things, like Krishna says, "Patram pushpam phalam te," which is leaf, water, flower. When we offer things which are like cooked products or something, and which may not necessarily, like cake for example, or some sweets for example, they're made out of, then how does it come under Patram Pushpam
Thank you,
Phalam?
Prabhuji. So that's one category given in Bhagavad Gita. That's not the only category given by Krishna. So Krishna has given lot more list. As we know, Bhagavad Gita is a small summary of all the Vedic conclusion. The conclusions are there, but now here that all the details will not be there. So all the details you find in Hari Bhakti Vilas, for example, which is composed by Sanatana Goswami. Now Prabhupada, on one occasion of Janmashtami, which I've heard, sent one of his disciples, if I'm not wrong, his name was Pradyumna Prabhu, with the book in hand. He went to the kitchen and Prabhupada said, Krishna likes these things. You make sure all of my disciples make these. So whole day the Prabhu was standing in the kitchen with the book and asking devotees to make it. Now, if someone doesn't know Hari Bhakti Vilas is a composition by Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami has comprised different Vedic literatures, relevant verses in one book called Hari Bhakti Vilas. So what Krishna likes, what Srimati Radharani likes, what do we do in this occasion? Multiple categories. I'm not just talking about food here. So he has written a whole composition. So Vedic literature is vast. So from different sources, Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipano, Sadhadharma Sanstapkao. So from Nana Shastra, he has compiled all those verses together and he's put that one book, and then our devotees are following that book. Like Narada Pancharatra is not the part of Bhagavad Gita, but that's what we follow to worship Radha Gopinath. So Bhagavad Gita talks about the main questions here. The details are given in other books. Extension of Bhagavad Gita is also NOD, NOI, which we are going to read in future. If that makes sense, Prabhuji. Just one category, 926, is not the only category Krishna has ever recommended. Okay?
Right.
So Krishna does talk about, Prabhuji, dal and bhat and all that. He does talk about it. So cake comes under that. It's grain, right? It's a grain and milk product, basically, if you do from Sankhya analysis. So it's you can. Okay, 314. Let's do that. This is a very nice verse. Who's next? Ira Mataji or Acharya Sapram? Any one of you?
अन्नाद् भवन्ति भूतानि प्रजन्यात् अन्नसम्भवः यज्ञात् भवति प्रजन्यो यज्ञकर्म समुद्भवः. All living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagna, and yagna is born of prescribed duties.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is a verse which is represented in this particular chart. So I'll read the verse, I'll come to the chart and we'll combine it together. So annat bhavanti bhutani. So bhutani refers to jivas, the souls, the living entity. They subsist, they grow by anna, right? So anna, a grain or food substance, you can say, is very much needed for bhutani, for all of us, right? Now, where does the anna comes from? Parjanya. So parjanya means rains. So unless the rain happens, can anna grow? Can grain grow? No. So rains are very much needed. So parjanya is the cause of anna. Where the parjanya comes from, where the rain comes from, yagyad bhavati parjanyo. So you'll see one word is just cycling back. So yagyad, through the yagya, the rain comes. That is true. Huh? When we perform the proper yagyas, then the rain comes. Where does the yagya come from? Karma samudbhava, they comes from prescribed duty. So everyone, a Brahman will have a different prescribed duty, Vaishya will have a different prescribed duty. So different people have different prescribed duties. There are different yagyas. For Agnihotri, the Agnihotri yagya is given. For a different person, different yagyas can be given. So different people will do yagya. Through the yagya, parjanya or rains will come. Through the rain, anna will come. From anna, bhutani will subsist. Let me read 315 as well. They're all interrelated. Acharya Nistha Prabhu, would you like to read?
Karma brahmo bhadava vidhi brahmashara samudavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yagge pratishtitam. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the all pervading transcendence is eternally situated in the act of sacrifice. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So in 314, the last word was karma samudava. Karma here refers to prescribed duties. Now we just continuing the same thoughts in the next verse. That karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. So karma are described in Vedas, right? So where do we read our duties? In Vedas, in Vedic literature. Brahmakshar samudbhavam, and Vedas are directly manifested from Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is also true. Huh? Krishna has given the Vedas. That's why they're called aparushaya. Tasmat sarvagatam Brahma. Definitely everything is coming from that Brahma. Nityam yagya pratistham, which is situated in yagya. So basically, yagya is the theme of this whole section from 3.9 onwards. You can say word yagya is used. And this yagya is a centralized theme. Now look at 314 and 315 in a very summarized way in this chart. Okay, so yagya, okay, 314 I will open. So annad bhavanti bhutani. Sorry, here. So annad bhavanti bhutani. So all embodied living beings are dependent on annad, food grains, right? Parjanyat amsanbhava, where anna coming from? Parjanya, rains. Look at it. Rains bring the food grains. Where the rains coming from? Performance of yagya. Where the yagya is coming from? Prescribed duties. Prescribed duties coming from Vedas, and Vedas come from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So everything eventually is coming from Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, sometimes modern people may not understand this whole cycle. They say, okay, we are just surviving on nature. But who is providing in this nature? Another Mother Nature, rains, right? Who is providing this rains? Performance of yagya. Someone behind the scene is doing the right thing. Someone they're following their responsibility. And that's how the rains are coming. Who's following their responsibility based on some manuals? Manuals are Vedic literature. Where is the Vedic literature coming from? From the Lord. So this whole cycle tells us how we are ultimately dependent on Supreme Lord. No one is independent. We may feel like we are part of this cycle from 1 to 3, for example, but 1 to 3 also connected to the next one, and ultimately we come to Supreme Lord. Okay, I'll stop here. It's 900. Just let me read 316. Okay, we'll do 316 next time. So let's stop here. Rajesh Prabhu, sorry, does your question answered as yet?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay, I'll send all these pictures today. So please, don't have to worry about it. Now, is Yash Prabhu here? Yes, Prabhuji is here. Yes, I'll give it to Prabhuji.